I mean, this is the Soviet Union, but they're making it cute and funny in the New York Times. Kind of like a month ago when they reported that the Boy Scouts at age 14 are training for gun confiscation and to, quote, take on disgruntled vets and seek and destroy ops. And then it describes them with the Homeland Security SWAT teams practicing killing veterans. You can't make this up. You can't make up Department of Homeland Security and DOD saying all protest is terror. You can't make this up. Next stop, the Twilight Zone. Realize what's happening. The more you don't wake up and scream bloody murder and call into talk radio and go to city council and call Congress, the more it encourages them. And you're like, but I'm a yuppie. They'll think I'm a kook. I've never called Congress. I've never gone to city council. You better, buddy. You better get your butt moving. You better verify the things I've said and then realize that this is a hot tyranny. This is an extermination tyranny. We've seen this over and over again. The attack profile they're launching is 100% a mass color. They're planning to kill millions of us. This is a Soviet-style operation. The bankers funded them all over the world. This is a radical reorganization, gutting out and getting rid of the middle class. And a lot of the middle class is going to try to serve it because all they do is social climb, and they're going to lick boots and try to be part of it, and they're going to get their butts cold, too, in the third or fourth wave. This is hardcore. Now, listen to me and listen carefully. Phil Taylor reports, New York Times, New Orleans resident Jordan Walters quit his sales job this year to join a youth service program that would allow him to explore a field he believes would be recession-proof, renewable energy. You make a decent amount of money in sales, but there's no longevity in a recession. And Walters, 23, who gained experience with renewable energy projects in the Conservation Corps of Greater New Orleans, the group is dedicated to helping the city recover from 2005's devastating Hurricane Katrina. See, they give the federal money to whoever they want, and then it's private groups, so the private groups get the profits and fence the money back into the criminals' hands that own these companies. Like, take David Gergen. He's got his hands in 5 different groups getting money. And then the government can't have any oversight or regulation because they're private. It's private armies. It's mercenaries. It goes on. There's a lot of new construction going on here, said Walters, whose experience in the group earned him a full-time job with company installing solar thermal panels. See, it all sounds reasonable. This is just their PR. If you're going to change things, New Orleans is the place to do it, and you might as well do it right. With support from the Corps Network, the City of New Orleans, and a $5.8 million grant from the U.S. Labor Department, the New Orleans Corps has developed and helped put more than 800 people between the ages of 17 and 24 to work on projects involving environmental stewardship, energy conservation, and historic restoration. This is the Green Corps, one division. It goes on. Many participants come to the program from run-ins with the law. Some have spent time in jail. The program requires participants to work 4 months with one of 7 nonprofit groups at an hourly wage of $8.55 and gives AmeriCorps college scholarships worth as much as $1,250 to those who complete the program. So they're hiring the criminals to fill their ranks and make it all sound reasonable. And it placed 75% of the graduates with government employment afterwards. It's the conversion from free market to parasite government, parasite corporate government jobs owned by private interests but funded through government. So they take from your business and give it to their environmental, anti-gun corps. Now, look, I got another article here. Bloomberg, Obama's volunteers find health plan harder to sell than candidate. And then it describes them going to door with GPS marking whether you support Obama or not. In uniforms, red and black uniforms, knock, 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 answer my questions. Total intimidation. They're private army with government funding. When Patricia McArdle volunteered for Barack Obama's presidential campaign, her duties and goals were clear. Now she's devoting her time to his health care plan and says she's confused and frustrated. Yeah, you're being suckered with a global corporate takeover. Obama, who enlisted 13 million member grassroots army to help him win the White House, is trying to remobilize these people to build support for his proposed overhaul. The goal may prove elusive because they won't tell the idiots what they're pushing for. It's just all part of intimidation to get people used to going around in uniforms to people's doors. Because I got video and news articles where they're training them to go after your guns, folks. They're just finding out who's mentally ill out of these groups and sifting out the demons to then be promoted. The constituencies that joined forces to back Obama, the candidate disagreed over the scope of the health care overhaul, particularly whether it should create a so-called single-payer system that reimburses providers through a government-run fund. And then it goes on to how they don't like knocking on doors and they aren't getting all the same love. This is the government with a 13 million man army. They've been able to deploy 1 million of them. And then they got the census coming and saying it's going to be a yearly census and a monthly census and GPSing you and ordering you to answer if you own guns. On record. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is what's developing. I'm going to say it again. Mainstream news is reporting total, complete, private, corporate takeover. With the Federal Reserve above government, a new form of government is being founded. No one is getting this. The full magnitude, the executive orders, the Northcom, how it all feeds together. We're breaking it down. Believe me, I don't want to be the only one here who gets it all. That's why this show continues to explode, because I've studied governments, covert operations, black ops, the executive orders. I can see what they're doing, and we know their attack pattern, and there's no doubt anymore. It's all manifesting. I'm Alex Jones. This is the one, the only GCN Radio Network, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. Don't forget to support us by purchasing books and videos in the online video bookstore at Infowars.com or by calling 888-253-3139. More straight ahead.